We're live.
Yes, we're live.
Amazing.
It takes them a few minutes to like catch up.
Yes.
And then we'll see, up there it shows how many is joining.
Nice.
So we'll just watch. Oh, so good. Yeah, I still have that with Barry.
Cool.
And they're letting people know that we're here. Hello, somebody's already joined. Come on in here, frame. There we go. Get on in here, Barry. Hey guys, so we're just gonna wait till a few more people. Hey Michelle. So here's the deal. For those of you who don't know me, I've been a matchmaker since 2008. I mostly work with billionaires, celebrities, ultra high net worth men, eligible bachelors.
Indeed.
I've written several books, had several radio shows. I was a former Hollywood wardrobe stylist, so I love to help everybody do dating better, whether it's your look, for your dating profiles, because so many women come to me and they want to attract better men, obviously.
Obviously.
And they want access to my guys, but I work with a very small select group of guys.
Yes,
so I can't get on in here closer, Barry. So I cannot work with so many. So this is why I guide you guys on the dating apps, because I know for a fact my girlfriend's just now, she's dating a billionaire that she met on Bumble. Mm-hmm. So I know for a fact they're there, but you guys don't think they're there because you're not showing up looking the way you need to attract these guys.
Right.
And so it's a combo of things. So that's me, and that's what we do. And on my TikTok lives, mainly I do them on Wednesday nights, so join me Wednesday for me. But today is a special thing because I have my friend Barry here.
I'd be in town. I thought, let's do this.
Yes, and Barry is in town visiting me right now. And so he is called the Love Doctor, and he loves to talk about all things relationships, just like I do.
Yep.
So I figure two heads are better than one, maybe. We'll see.
We'll see what happens.
And so there we go. So you guys can ask us questions, and we'll stay here for as long. Well, I don't know about as long as you have questions. We'll stay here, but we'll stay here for a while this morning. Tell me your name. Tell me your question. Tell me your name. Tell me your question.
Right.
So that's how this works. Love and dating. You got us here. You might as well ask us anything. Okay.
Absolutely.
So let's do this. Who's got a love and dating question for us right now? Georgia's here. We love it. So welcome. So I guess until we get an actual question, so we'll talk, right?
Talk, yeah.
So, one of the Barry's themes is really the divine feminine.
Yeah.
And we were touching on this last night. We did a brief TikTok last night. Just so he could get his feet wet, because he's a little still newbie here on TikTok.
I'm sorry, this TikTok's not been my playground as much as you have.
Yeah,
certainly.
I love TikTok. TikTok's been great for me.
Yeah.
But so he likes to talk about the divine feminine, and for me, it's an interesting topic because not only as a lady boss, a lot of times when we're a lady boss, we slip out of our feminine and we have to wear our big boy pants a lot of times to do business, especially when you're dealing with billionaires and these men who are trying to like renegotiate your contracts, try to rewrite my contracts, or try to bargain with my prices. Fortunately, once I bumped up to working with the billionaires and the celebrities, they don't try to nickel and dime you. That was a game changer. But to go head to head and sustain in this business, I've had to definitely step into my masculine role.
Absolutely.
And so it's fun to talk about with Barry, who has this perspective of coaching and working with women to be in their feminine, what that looks like. How do you wear both hats? And we were brainstorming some stuff last night that we'll talk about today as well. So we do have a question. And we'll take a few questions, and then when we don't have questions, we'll
keep talking.
Yeah, we'll keep talking. Okay, Crystal, tips for being with an avoidant attachment person.
Ooh.
I think Barry might be better to field this, because I'm more like boots on the ground here, technical.
I know
and
stuff.
He's more. No,
sorry, that was too easy.
That didn't.
No, I mean, I've studied a little bit.
Right.
I know a bit about attachment styles, so that's one thing I can help on. So
go for it.
So for those who don't know, attachment styles are basically three main. There's actually four, but there's three main attachment styles, which are avoidant, anxious, and secure. Are the three attachment styles.
But she's with avoidant,
right?
So what's the advice there?
What an avoidant attachment style means is that they are always trying to keep you at distance.
So why would you even want to be in a relationship with somebody like that?
That's the thing. So the thing is, when you're in someone avoidant,
is it their issue? Because here's the thing, like we were talking this morning, I got a message from this guy and he's like, I always date crazy ladies. And I'm like, it takes two to tango.
Yes,
okay.
Absolutely.
So if you are somebody who is wants to like be in a relationship with somebody who's avoidant, that sort of, I'm not as worried about them as I'm worried about you. And you have to say, why am I attracted to this person? Right.
And the thing is also is oftentimes it's an anxious attachment style that gets attracted to an avoidant, because an avoidant's not too interested. The anxious makes up for that by being overly interested. So there's always this push-pull happening between them.
Right.
So frankly, both of you, frankly, if you both want to do the work, is it's learn how to become secure, because you can change your attachment style. It's not built in when you're born. It's a learned behavior.
I also think, though, so many people, Barry, and this is why relationships tank, is people meet people, and here's what I say. A relationship will work if you are, like, if I meet Barry and it's like he does things that are like, gosh, he doesn't have a good enough job, or he's a huge drinker or whatever. If I think, oh, I like Barry so much, but he doesn't have a great job, that'll change. He'll get ambitious. Or I like Barry, but God, he puts him away so much. Mm-hmm. Oh, he'll stop drinking for me. This is bullshit. And this is why people get into relationships with people and they waste all this time thinking they can change the other person, or hoping that person will change. You have to accept this person exactly as he is. Okay, I'm going to take Barry. He ain't ambitious and he drinks like a fish, but I'm good with that. I'm good. Then it's cool. But you cannot be with anybody going, oh, they're avoidant, and how do I manage them?
The thing is very simple, is that you don't want to date a fixer-upper, to be simple.
No.
Because I think, and also you don't want a project. If you date a project, you're going to be focusing on fixing them all the time, and it's not a healthy relationship.
Right. And personally, I think that's the J-Lo situation right now.
Right.
I don't know why people do that. People want to join you live.
I know,
it's odd to me. I don't understand. But anyway, so keep your questions coming. We love it. Okay, tips. Okay, how do you move on from someone who doesn't feel the same about you? I'll let you field that question first, Barry, since you're my guest.
Thank you
Barry's
so much.
my guest today.
Yes. Well, the thing is, if it sounds like from what you said in the question, you're already broken up because you already moved on. You already got to figure out how to move on because they don't feel the same as you do. The bottom line is you got to put it behind you and move forward. You know, if it's a long-term
Barry,
relationship,
that's a really profound. That's a profound thought.
But here's the thing. But let me qualify this, because the thing is, if you've been in a long-term relationship with them and now it's become they've cooled off, they're not interested in you, you may have to do some inner work to heal those wounds inside, because you've got expectations, you've got some investments of thinking that you can have things a certain way, and you're going to basically feel like they deserted you. There's going to be some sort of self-betrayal going on as well. So you might want to get support to work on that. But if it's just an early dating thing, then basically, frankly, get over it.
I'm going to tell you a few things.
Please.
One is, when somebody breaks up with you, they have already broken up with you in their mind long before you ever found out about it. So unfortunately, they're way ahead in terms of recovering and getting over it. They've already gotten over it basically before you even know. So there's that. Yeah. Second of all, I think what you should do is focus on all the negative things about them. Right? So because when we're like lovelorn and heartbroken, we tend to like romanticize the relationship, and I think we tend to
ignore all the bad stuff.
Yeah, we tend to like just focus on the good things. But I think the best way to get over a person is to focus on all the shitty things about them you didn't like in the first place.
Right.
And then third, I think, or that was technically one. Two, I think you really need to kind of force yourself to start dating and then focusing on the positive things about the people you're meeting. I think we tend to do the opposite, right? When we're trying to recover, we want to romanticize the asshole people that we dated, and then we're going out with the new people trying to find fault with them, right?
Start shooting down,
Right. Absolutely. So I think you need to flip it, and you need to focus on why that person was so terrible that you were with, and focus on the positive of the new people you're dating, and then you just kind of stay on that path. Right. That's what I think. Yeah. Okay, let's move on. Should a woman offer to pay on the first date? Okay, that's a good question. Okay, keep your questions coming. We'll be here. Get in here, frame. Get in frame. Got to get shoulder to shoulder with me, Barry. This is a good question. We'll let Barry go first.
Oh, thank you. Frankly, one of the things people say a lot is like, whoever asks pays is one of those things. And if you asked him out, you may be going down a path you don't want to go down. Because if you want to be with a man that's going to be taking charge, leading, being the real man in the relationship, he should be offering in the first place, or even telling you, don't worry about it, I've got it taken care of.
Right.
Because that's what the chivalry is about. That's what gentlemanly conduct is about.
Right.
If you offer to pay, if he says, I'm paying for this, and you say, I'd love to contribute, great. That's nice to offer. That way he knows you're interested in playing and being part of a partnership. And he may say, grab the tip or something else if he wants to make sure you've got some skin in the game, so to speak. But frankly, no. The woman should not be offering to pay for the date. Especially a first date.
I'm going to agree with that. 100%.
Oh, we agree.
We agree on something. It's a miracle. Hey, if you like this, share this so more people will join. And as long as you ask us questions, we'll stay here. Now, there's a good one I'm just dying to get to.
Yes.
And it's already scrolled by, but I put it in my mind. She said dating at 60 is a shit show.
I was going, how do I answer that one? Dating can be a shit show no matter what age it is, frankly.
Now, Barry is 65.
Thank you for adding me. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm not 100.
No. Last night somebody was so, on TikTok, you guys, people can be such jerks because they're anonymous, right? So they say things they
especially the evenings.
They hate their lives. They hate themselves and their lives, so they want to shit on you.
Right.
So they said to me, like, why are you something about why am I with this 100-year-old man? They had given advice, and I didn't even know that was an insult to you because I didn't understand that they were talking about you. But Barry worked that out anyway.
It was fun.
But the point of what I'm saying, let's unravel this. So the point is, what I'm saying is, Barry is 65. So I don't think Barry looks too horribly old.
Too horribly? That's such a nice compliment.
It's a backhanded compliment.
This is my friend Gina, by the way.
But it's a compliment, Barry.
Right. No.
So I'm just saying, here's what
People
I find.
think I'm younger than this, so definitely.
At 100%.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying to you is, and we've talked about this before, that dating, honestly, it's not about the number. It's about how you look for that number. And I see exceptional men in their 60s and even early 70s who are like a Harrison Ford or think of these big movie stars that are in their 60s that are like phenomenal. And there's not tons, but you also have to look phenomenal, right? So who's phenomenal 60-year-old is Michelle Pfeiffer. Okay,
oh, yeah, right,
Sheryl Crow. Mm-hmm. So if you're 60 and you're looking for a phenomenal man at 60, then you've got to be bringing that level, right? You have to.
And just to be transparent, I mean, I'm single. I'm on the dating apps. Yes, I'm on single date relationship coach who's single. That happens. But the thing is that for me, the women I meet who are in that age range, they each could be the same, but how they look can be 25 years difference. Like two women could be 60, but one looks like she's 80 and one looks like she's 40. So the numbers is not what's key here. It's about how you do, as you said, how you take care of yourself.
For
how
sure.
do you look? What do you do for yourself?
And first of all, another thing you have to remember, and if we're going to talk about the dating apps, is that the dating apps is a small sample of the world. So the world is a shit show.
It's
most people in the world are not exceptional. They just aren't.
Right.
You don't walk out your door and meet exceptional people. So the dating apps are just a slice of the real world. So of course you're going to see the majority of low effort, disgusting people because unfortunately that is the world.
Yeah.
But you have to be just solely laser focused on finding the best, right?
And frankly, dating at 60 is different from dating at 20 because dating at 20 you didn't less care about stuff. Whereas at 60 you're much more concerned.
You're pickier and you're more right. At 20 you're like woo,
whatever. Yeah, but 60 you're gonna have a more refined picker, so we say that.
Right. So here's a good one. How do you feel, and this is from Tawny, how do you feel about people in the never married category that are 40 plus? I see that as a red flag.
That's a choice. I haven't been married, and I'm 65, as you said. So I'm outing myself fully.
TikTok's going to kill you, Barry. Get ready for it.
That's fine. Because the thing is, what you say about me is none of my business. Let me say that. That's actually a quote from Eleanor Roosevelt. The thing about being married, I've seen many people who've been married 3 or 4 times by the time they're 40. Seriously.
Right.
So marriage is not the barometer I would use. It's about commitment to personal self, but commitment to the relationships they're in. Because I'm trying to think who I know of some offhand. I know someone who's got 3 ex-wives and they have 4 kids from different marriages, and that's a mess. So not being married or being married in the age of 40 plus, especially nowadays, people who've never been married by the age of 40 in this current time, isn't that unusual?
That's true. Also, I want to say this that I've noticed, okay?
Please.
And we talked about this too. We sit around and talk about this even when we're not on TikTok. Can you believe
we do?
it?
What a concept.
Can't get enough of this stuff. Anyway, it sucks how we judge people, and because we're conditioned, right? We're brainwashed from the time that we're born, basically, to believe that we need somebody to validate us. Mm-hmm. Another person needs to have agreed to marry us at some point to make you feel like we're okay. But Barry, I could have married Barry, let's pretend. And because my old neighbor, she married a guy. So technically she goes to the world and people go, yep, you've been married. So somebody approved her. Yet she was married to a guy who's now in prison as a pedophile. All right?
Yeah, exactly.
So it's like a lot of times when people get married, they feel the pressure. We feel this just societal pressure to not be judged by other people. So we want to get married, even if he's a dirtbag, even if he turns out to be a serial killer with bodies buried in the backyard. So sometimes we make being married doesn't necessarily mean that we make the best choices.
Marriage isn't a qualifier, frankly.
No, it should never be a qualifier.
Right.
But I do think how somebody presents himself now, do they present themselves in a healthy place?
Yes.
Are they available? Like this, I don't think we should judge people necessarily for like these things that really don't matter. Judge them who they are now and how they're showing up. Now, granted, if they were in prison for horrible crimes and things, yeah, that's different. That's different. Yeah. But sometimes remaining single is a harder road to take, but sometimes it's a healthier road to take. You know what I mean? And it's a harder road because of the judgment of others. You know.
But also the thing is, if you are single for a longer time, you probably have less baggage as well, which is a good thing as well. Because frankly, if you meet a relationship with somebody and they're complaining about their exes and their ex-wives and their ex-husbands, whatever they were, that's no fun. So sometimes being with somebody who's never been married is actually easier.
Sometimes, absolutely. As long as they're ready and they're not, people have a lot of different reasons for never being married, My boyfriend keeps lying and breaking our agreements.
So why are you staying?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. So I don't know, because you know what happens with people, Barry? They say, I love him.
Yeah,
I love her. And I said, love is overrated. Who gives a shit about love if this person's not making your life better?
So the bottom line is that they keep lying to you, breaking agreements. You can't trust him.
Right.
And how can you love somebody you can't trust?
Right.
So,
love is overrated. If it means sacrificing your sanity and your happiness, you should be with somebody who makes your life better.
Who tells you the truth and is honest with you and keeps their agreements.
Yeah, it makes you feel good inside, not worried and anxious and because I feel like what happens too is we become addicted to this drama and this, soap opera that we're in, and it's a really unhealthy place to be, and the longer you stay in it, the harder it's going to be to get out of it. So the sooner you can kick him to the curb, the better. All right? Keep the questions coming, people. All right, we've got 53 new messages. Goodness, oh my gosh.
Oh, God.
All right, so tell us, I love to know your name when you ask a question, because you know my name, you know his. I'm Gina, his Barry. All right, so if you tell me your name, tell me your question, I love it. All right, and then there's inner conversations. What qualities do men look for when looking for
a wife?
A wife. Well, it depends on.
It's very conditional. That's 17 answers for one question.
Right. So if you're talking about the type of men I work with, and I work mostly with billionaires, the multimillionaires, these guys are usually always. Listen, everybody, whether somebody's broke or rich or famous, whatever, they're always looking for like the most most attractive person for them possible. That's for everybody. Women do it too. Everybody kind of does that. So let's just assume that's just an automatic.
Baseline, right.
Beyond that, in my world, my guys want women who are smart. Like if they've gone to Ivy League schools, that puts them way up on the totem pole. If they've have a master's degree, so these advanced college degrees. So the more accomplishments they have, and even if they didn't go to an Ivy League school, and even if one doesn't have a PhD or a master's degree, but if they have some sort of accomplishments that are like big and impressive, that's what my guys like. And one of the biggest myths, and it perpetuates on TikTok and everywhere, is that when people say, oh, successful, men don't care about a woman's accomplishments or whatever, that just tells me that person's truly never really met.
Right.
Or maybe met one, but not met a series of men who are truly successful and elevated and accomplished looking for women at their level. Because my guys always are.
Right.
Always are. All right?
And so to speak for myself, I love that. Is Barry a multimillionaire? No, I'm not, just to be clear.
Barry's just my friend. Barry and I met years ago.
God, it's been a long time now.
A long time. We met through Facebook, huh?
Was it Facebook?
I think so.
Maybe, yeah.
And because back then, that's how you were meeting everybody, pretty much. So
back in the old days.
Back in the old days, met through Facebook. Get in here closer, Barry.
Yeah.
We met on Facebook years ago, had a similar passion talking about love and dating, and that's how we've become friends, and we've just always kept in touch. So that's how I know Barry.
Yeah. Thank you, Joy.
Shallow. Yeah, guess what? The world is shallow.
Indeed it is.
Let's see here.
There's some other dialogues going on there.
I know, other dialogue. All right, wait. What's happening? Let's scroll back. Let's see what's happening. Yes, I fell into a trap without being
cognizant of it. By the way, let's speak to that for a second.
All right.
This thing about being honest
marriage
and
is way overrated. And that's coming from a matchmaker. Happiness should be your goal, not marriage.
Right.
And I learned that from being a matchmaker.
Well, because you can expose a lot of people who are going through that stuff.
Sure.
So it's key. The thing about being what's the one I'm looking for? Hypnotized by a partner is oftentimes people sell themselves as a bill of goods that they're not, and you may fall in for something because the person looks good, but who they are doesn't match you. So yes, you do fall sometimes into relationships that are not honest, not real, not authentic, and frankly, once you wake up, that's the time to leave. Because we fall like narcissists, for example. That now, by the way, the term narcissist is getting thrown around a lot
this
lately.
This is about a narcissist right here.
Right.
How do you move on when
the end was ended by a narcissist? The thing about narcissists, they don't end usually unless they've completely used you up, because that's the way they function. They're
interesting.
I term them like being energy vampires. They live off of the ability to put somebody else down. That's how they get their ego boosted. That's how narcissists function. So if they're done with you, one, thank the gods. Secondly, because most narcissists will come back again and again because they know they can come back and get more from you. So if they're broken up with you, close all loops, close all connections, disconnect the number, whatever you need to do.
Block. I love blocking.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now this is an interesting point somebody said, and I'd love to debate this. And it said, I think humans are hardwired to want companionship. I think it's nature versus nurture. Now, how do you feel about that, Barry?
I think as humans get companionship, yes. That doesn't necessarily mean relationship, by the way.
Okay.
But being community, to be connected with other humans, is part of what makes us who we are. That's kind of the human thing. Being alone is not a natural state. So I agree with that part. However, relationship is an add-on to that. Because to be connected, like we're friends, we're not in a relationship with each other. That's something that I enjoy the friendships I have. You enjoy the friendships you have. But to be romantically with somebody, that is something that is, yes, it's part of our DNA in a way. It's like the human culture is supposed to propagate
Get
itself.
it out, Barry. Get it out.
Yeah, propagate itself. So having relationships that create babies is kind of like, that's the future of our society, so to speak. But reality is that nowadays, we are not hardwired the same way. We've become more able to enjoy friendships and have openness that way. So relationships are not as fundamental as they used to be. I mean, 70 years ago, it was required. Now, not so much.
Cool. I love that answer.
Thank you.
I think, hang on.
It's the buttons are close together.
Yeah. Okay. I put up with a verbal abuse and empty promises. Good. So you've blocked your person and you moved on, Mia. I love it. You put up with a verbal abuse and empty promises. That's what you got to do.
Yeah.
You got to block them, because I think when you don't block them, in your mind, it still keeps that door open. Like and people are lying to themselves when they say that that's not the reason that they don't block somebody.
Right.
You block them.
They're still addicted.
Is when you are still. That's when you're in the healthiest place, and you don't need to hear from them at all. You don't even. You're not even curious about hearing from them at all.
Like Tony said, she was married for 23 years and she still tries to feed off her. She won't engage. That's the thing, Tony. You got to keep those boundaries strong for your own sanity.
Right. Yes. He still tries to feed. Yep. You've just got to close those doors. You cannot block a narcissist when younger children. Oh, okay. Great point. And I'm glad you said that. So I'm going to make Barry field that question. Go, Barry. Go, Barry. Go, Barry.
So children is another conversation piece, because that's a whole other spin.
Yeah, for sure.
And in relationships, because they're supposed to be, again in quotes, supposed to be mutual responsibility as parents for the kids. So if one is not doing that, abdicating the role, there may be legal outcomes you can take in terms of custody of the children, something like that. But the challenge is, yes, when you're still connected with somebody, with the children, because the children are the bridge between the two of you, who is a narcissist, that's a challenge, definitely. I don't have an easy answer for that one, frankly.
I know. So this is why I'm going to say where it begins is your smart choices and who you partner with to begin with.
Right.
Because,
except the narcissists are really good at disguising themselves.
Yeah, but don't you think, Barry, if you've dated somebody like a number of months or even a year, like months or year, like at what point are you going to see that they're a narcissist before you get pregnant by them, hopefully?
Hopefully. Well, the thing, first of all, don't get pregnant right away. Take time. That's one lesson. Secondly, it's like the old adage about, you put a crab in water and you start to raise the temperature and it doesn't know it's getting hot until it's too late. That's kind of the way narcissists work. They will be very subtle at the beginning, but as time goes by and you become more enmeshed with each other, they can start to be less and less hidden about their behaviors. So you've got to be really on notice to watch the other person's behavior. Even if you fall in love with them, even if you think they're amazing, notice anything that's an aberration. Any sort of thing when they start becoming manipulative or putting you down.
Yeah, somebody said they're master manipulators.
Yeah, they are.
What is the best way to call out an avoidant type? Boy, somebody really wants to talk about that.
So the thing about it is you don't call other people out. You just choose for yourself, frankly. I agree. If you're with an avoidant type, why do you chase them anyway?
Right.
You fix them.
Right. See, that's the mindset when you say to me, like, how can, like, even like there's some relationship experts that want to say, like, here's how you get this guy to text you and all this stuff. It's like, why do you want to,
why do that?
Right. Why do that? Like, don't you want somebody to want you? Like,
right.
I think we waste too much time trying to fix other people.
Right.
Like, if they're showing up and they're avoidant or they're not pursuing us or they're whatever these things are, you can't fix them. You just leave.
Right.
Deal with your own things. Figure out why you're choosing them and why you want to fix them, because that is a problem.
Absolutely.
That is really a problem. Okay, now I need to heal and move on. All right, there was something I saw. Often, this was interesting I saw. Often who accuse a partner of being a narcissist, they are narcissists themselves. What do you think about that, Barry?
I mean, the manipulation game could be including that. I don't know for sure. That's the thing that happens often. Most of the time, narcissists tend to be me. Tends to think they don't feel like they're a narcissist, so they won't usually make that a visible thing to the other person. They won't call somebody else out. If they've been accused of it, they might try and throw shade on the other person. That's just simply a way to, again, control, because narcissists are master manipulators. So they will try and put you down. And so if you call them out as being a narcissist, they may call you one back simply as a reaction to try and make you feel bad. But the thing is, they don't do it as part of their normal behavioral style.
So this is another one. Oh, wait. Only responded when absolutely necessary in regards to children.
Right. Which is what we're talking about with narcissists.
Yes, and you cannot fix people. You have to just make smart choices that, and I know so many times back, in my 20s and 30s, that's what I was trying to do. Like, I always wanted to find these, like, bad boys. And I think sometimes when we are strong, capable women, we feel like we're strong and capable enough for two people so that we can easily fix him, but that's just such a mistake.
And from the other side, I was the white knight in shining armor trying to save all the damsels in distress. It was hell.
So here's a really great question. Would you recommend moving to a big city if you come from a small community to find a partner? 100% yes. Yes.
I figured you'd answer that one.
Yeah. Absolutely. I mean, because there's just more opportunities for all sorts of things in bigger cities. And the one thing you can do first, though, before you move, is you can always do travel mode on Bumble and some other apps. Mm-hmm. But the key is when you do travel mode, what I always teach my ladies is that you should put in the bio in the first sentence, because if you don't put it in the first sentence, they'll probably miss it. Just put using travel mode because I can relocate anywhere. That's really key if you want to use travel mode, because what happens when you use travel mode, one of two things happen. The good guys or the good people that are looking for a solid, authentic relationship, they will pass you by because they go, this person's not here and I'm looking for an authentic, whatever you're passing through. They think you're passing through. So therefore, sometimes you're just going to attract the people that do want to hook up with somebody that's passing through, unless you put that sentence in that really qualifies why you're in travel mode. All right. And you got to put that in the first sentence, right?
Sounds good to me.
Yeah. Oh, good. Somebody likes our stream. Hey, give us hearts, give us roses. That's so fun. I love to see those things popping up.
Right.
And share this thing if you like it. All right. This is my friend Barry. He's joining me today. And I'm here every Wednesday night at 6 p.m. Pacific. So I'll be here this coming Wednesday, and you can always RSVP. And when you RSVP, that sends you, somebody sending the hearts. I love it. And the roses.
Nice.
So fun.
Because it's all for you, because it's on your channel.
Right. Let's see
Decline.
here. Yeah, decline. Okay, so get on in here, Barry.
Yes.
So we're getting back to these questions. So you can RSVP, and when you RSVP, what that does, it's pretty cool on TikTok. They send you a reminder when I go live, so then that way you don't miss it. All right.
Codependent No More is a great book, by the way. So
it is?
Book, yeah. Codependency, codependence and narcissists usually end up, yes, they do end up with each other because the codependent loves to be attached to somebody and narcissists like to manipulate people they're attached to. So it's a perfect match, unfortunately.
Yep, I've been there and done that too. Yeah. Totally love your honesty and vibe. Great. Thanks. You are amazing, guys. Thank you so much. We'll take compliments. All right.
Should I promote my channel so they know to find me?
Yeah, sure. What the hell?
Since my channel just started, I've got like 70 people following me, unlike this woman who's got amazing followers. If you find me on Instagram, it's Barry Selby 777. It's in the title, I think, of the bio. Please find me and follow me there. Because I'm
Barry, Barry, Selby
SC.
777 on TikTok here because we're
Yes.
trying to I told him
She's doing me a favor.
TikTok is a game changer. TikTok has changed my life. I've met so many of you fabulous TikTok people, amazing.
That's cool.
And it's a game changer. So I want to get Barry in the loop here. What kinds of vetting questions do you recommend on dating apps for a serious relationship? I love this. Should I start?
Please.
Okay. Talk a lot about this in my coaching for ladies. I think that first of all, like when I'm doing swipe sessions with my ladies, and by the way, fortunately for me, my fall level up ladies coaching group is already full. That starts in September. But what we do is swipe sessions together and everything. So when we're swiping, a big part of it is training you to see what I see in terms of should you say yes or no. And just because somebody looks the part doesn't mean they're really look the part, you know?
Yeah.
So I like, you know, especially on Bumble, and I think now Hinge has finally fixed this where you can state your relationship goal. So you can put, I'm looking for, I didn't mean to poke you, sorry. You know, you can put,
You're expressive.
I'm looking for a relationship, or those, I'd say always avoid those people who don't put, like if they put there's something casual, usually when they don't put their job, weird enough, but when they don't put what they do for a living, usually when you go down to the other details, it says that they're looking for something casual. That seems to go hand in hand.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I find a good way to vet is how invested have they been in filling out the details on their profile, for starters. So did they put their occupation? Did they fill in all the details? Or have they just skipped it and their photos look haphazard and they really give you limited information? That's a huge red flag. So the more time somebody is willing to put into their profile and put they're looking for a real relationship and do this, that's your first way to determine whether you're even going to swipe on them or crack the door open at all. And then beyond that, if there's anything you're ever unclear about, another really good thing is you can do it in messaging, but it's always better on a call if you're still unclear about where they're at. Like, oh, so Barry, how long have you been legally divorced?
Right.
And you use those words, legally divorced, because a lot of times guys will say divorced, and in their mind they may think they're divorced, but
they haven't signed anything yet.
They haven't signed anything yet. So if you ever want to get clarification, the call is where you really want to ask those questions. You know, so are you looking to have more kids? You know, just ask the question. And that's how you vet them. And what do you think, Barry?
I agree with that. And
Okay,
that's the
perfect.
thing, I mean, asking honest questions is key. By the way, the thing about calls, most of the dating apps now have a built-in phone
Thank you,
feature.
Mel.
So you can call them inside the app because frankly, ladies especially, you may not want to give out your phone number right up front because you don't want to be necessarily getting on somebody's harassment list. So make the phone call inside the app. That way you're anonymous and you're safe.
That's a good tip. I never talk about that. But heck, why not? Okay. Girls are afraid of me immediately. They look scared, even though I am not intending to scare. Well, that just sounds frightening, just period.
Well, I'm not sure what you look like.
Get in here.
I'm not sure what you look like. And also, I'm not sure what vibe you're putting out in the first place. So I can't really help you with that.
I know, right? Sometimes, listen, as much as we want to help, unless we have seen you or know the details, it's very, very hard to really know what the proper advice to give you. But I think if you're scaring them, you have to. Why don't you try to ask people who know you what you're doing? What are you doing that scares them? Okay, where do you find the women to match with your male clients? That's a great question, and I get that a lot. And Mel, I think it's Mel that's our top viewer today, which is amazing. Listen, my guys are super specific about the type of ladies they're looking for, and it changes. You know, my youngest client right now is 25. Actually, maybe he's 26 now.
Wow.
Did you know that? You didn't know that? Yeah.
Wow.
I'm going through a young phase, 26, and then 20.
For your clients.
For my clients,
Me.
I'm going through a young. Hey, I'm going through a young phase too. I feel kind of young. Anyway, but no, 25, 26, let's say now, and 29, and then 34. Those are my youngest guys, and then and then it goes up from there, and it varies. But so depending on what they're looking for is what determines how we're scouting. But usually I always use Instagram, to be honest with you, because almost everybody is on Instagram, and I like to look through everybody's pictures because I like to look for the weakest photos somebody has. I like to look and see if they have photos where it makes me question their integrity or just their lifestyle. And so I really, really, really find Instagram to be a very, very, very good tool. And I will say, if you go to my page, ginahendrix.com, and you go to the women's tab, I do give you two options. You can fill out a basic inquiry, which is or premium profile. And a lot of women do the basic inquiry, but what they don't realize is that a basic inquiry, a lot of times if you've chosen pictures that weren't like your best, they're like, sometimes I'm shocked. Like you're submitting a basic inquiry. I showed Barry this morning, and like the picture's like not good. You're
not
never going to hear from me.
Right.
So the premium profile allows you to really fill out a substantial profile, puts you in my database, and gets you on a Zoom with me so that I can then look through other photos if these aren't good enough and really help you ramp up. The basic inquiry is really does nothing except sort of says, "Hi Gina, here I am."
Right.
But if your pictures are like not amazing, you'll never hear from me. All right. But it's there just because,
right.
I don't know. I'm giving you some options.
There you go.
But if you choose the wrong option, I can't help you. All right. Yes, but they asked, what questions should you ask?
Oh, that was
okay. Fair enough. Good. Keep me on topic. I love it. I'll take all the help I can get. Well, what questions you should ask? And this depends on what you're looking for, right? So is your goal to have children? Ask them if they want to have more children. If you are of a certain age and you know you can't have children and you don't want to waste time dating somebody who's still open-minded to children, you got to, so it's hard to say. There are no stock questions that you should ask because it's really specific to what's important to you.
That's the key. Is you ask questions that are about what's important to you and your values. So if you feel like you want certain things, make sure you ask questions about that. Like the broken agreement stuff. Is agreement keeping important to you? Make sure the person knows what that means. Because otherwise you're going to be in trouble, like we shared earlier in the feed.
So now, and look, Bob Burke was really frustrated because all these question marks. Just answer the fucking question.
No, he's just enthusiastic.
No. All right, so Bob, hopefully we answered that for you. Okay, so this is a great question. What dating apps come on in here, Barry. What dating apps do you feel are best for finding quality people ready for relationships? I know what I say. What do you say? Okay, then I'll take it first. Because I talk a lot about this. I mean, I honestly think the best, it's always best to go where the numbers are, okay? So, and the most popular dating apps, are certainly Bumble and Hinge, although I do prefer Bumble over Hinge. I don't know why, I'm a creature of habit, but when I'm coaching my ladies and we're swiping, because I have a whole system, I have my book, The Great Manhunt, where is it? Right here. The Great Manhunt, ta-da! And that lays out your whole strategy that you do. So I have a whole strategy and system so that you streamline the process, but you have to go where the numbers are. I can tell you right now, I know so many people, you can meet people. Like I know somebody who has met several people, met people on Tinder, met people on different ones. But my go-to is usually Bumble, and my friend right now, and other women I know, she's dating a guy who's a billionaire, and she met him he just sold his company for $2.5 billion within the last month, and she met him on Bumble. So they're everywhere, but the key is you have to show up like a rock star. If you're not looking the part, if you're just picking like photos where your friends think you look cute, or you're in the car and thought you had a good hair, those are just not good enough. You really have to create a story with your pictures and create the right bio so that you are elevated beyond everybody else in order to attract the best people. That goes for men and women, by the way.
And by the way, also, if you're doing some of the pictures, if you're on dating apps and you're putting on your profile, please put more than one picture view of yourself. If you put in 7 shots of you posing with a picture of the camera right up close to your face, looking at a certain angle, and it's like 7 versions of that, that's pointless.
Yeah, I agree. That's pointless.
But like having a headshot, like an upper body shot, maybe a full body shot, like if you're out doing stuff, maybe an activity, not shots of you in little like stick figure on a landscape, because some people do pictures where they're like 4 miles away from the camera. Not those, it's pointless. Not
that at all. We got to see you, got to see your body, can't be playing games, can't have other pictures, can't have other pictures, can't have other people
in the pictures with them blanked out. It's like when there's 5 of you in the picture, it's like, which one are you again?
Totally, I know. Sunglasses, like bad angles, bad lighting. Like,
well, the other one is when people take a picture from above the head to make it look smaller, which doesn't work.
Plus, a girl submitted like a basic inquiry to me and the pictures was like shitty sheets and an unmade bed, and I could see behind her, and it was just such a turnoff. Yeah, I didn't even look at her. I was like, that environment behind her is so shitty.
Yep.
It's like, ooh. And so, you got to pay attention to all these details and really pay attention to all of the photos that you're posting, because what'll happen, and you do this too, is that people will judge you on your weakest photos. So you
Yes.
could have 5 amazing photos and one photo where they're like, is that them or that doesn't,
Right.
and then it's done. And it rules out all the good photos that you have. All right. So you got to pay attention. Now, here's something I don't talk about often is that when I'm guiding people to pick out their best photos for the dating apps or even profiles for me, I say, you got to ask yourself, does this photo that you're choosing, does it help you? Does it hurt you? Does it do nothing?
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah,
I like
it falls
that.
into one of,
Right.
and I don't, obviously you want it to help you. You don't want it to hurt you.
Definitely.
Do nothing is sort of like, well, if you have 4 or 5 other really strong photos and this one is you in a field of flowers, it does nothing. So it's okay, but you definitely don't want to have any photos that are gonna overrule the good ones that you have. So you really have to ask yourself that question.
And one more pet peeve I've seen recently, a lot of times the dating apps, again, being on the apps, searching myself, is seeing pictures where there's one profile picture and then there's 4 cartoon versions of themselves.
Oh, I've never seen that.
Okay, see, it's like, the emojis you get from the apps.
But here's the thing,
Like, why?
that's a good thing, Barry, and I'm going to tell you why.
Why?
You know why? Why?
Well, it fills up the counts, but why?
No, it tells you that this person's not serious about finding somebody.
But true.
You see what I'm
yes,
saying?
Yes, exactly.
And we were also talking about the guy with the fish. You know why I say, and I have a TikTok video here where I say the guy with the fish is doing something better than you? Because the more specific you are, like that guy with the fish, guess what? He's only going to be attracting women who are cool with who he is and what he's doing.
Right.
So sometimes when you show up so generic, then it confuses, then you don't need everybody coming at you. We're so conditioned to believe we need to attract everybody, but that only confuses you.
Right.
That's overwhelming. So the more specific you can be in your profile photos
and show who you are.
and show who you are. So if you show up as a jackass, thank you very much. You're a jackass.
Right.
If you show up holding a fish, then thank you very much. That's not for me, but it might be for the next lady. If you show up and you've made no effort or you look totally douchey, these are telltale signs. So you really have to pay attention. If somebody's just uploading cartoon pictures of themselves or 1 or 2 pictures of themselves, this is not somebody who's invested and serious about finding somebody. So then you just overlook them. And that's a blessing when they show you. All right, we're going to take a few more questions, then I think we're going to wrap it up, Barry.
I think so, yeah.
Right? Okay, so we'll take a couple more questions and then we're out of here. But you can always join me Wednesday night. I'm here every night at 6 p.m. Pacific, and we have a lot of fun. And, can you pick a couple other and read them, Barry?
So, mine is, what if you're mid to plus size? Should I even bother? Men seem to like thinner women.
What do you think about that, Barry? Because you're a man.
Well, first of all...
Or you're representing men, anyway.
So, first of all, the idea of should you bother because you're a little bit heavier, even if you're massive, is really a self-sabotaging move.
Yeah, it's a mindset.
Because the problem is that you think that you're not desirable, which is a mistaken approach. So if you're mid to plus size, there are many men out there, I'm not one of them, just to be transparent, but many men happen to like a woman who's bigger than them. There's something about that when it appeals to them. So
now, why did you feel like you needed to add that part that didn't pertain to you?
Because
I'm
I'm speaking about others, I'm not speaking from personal experience.
Right. Okay.
That's why.
Fair enough.
But the thing is that because to eliminate half the population because of their size or their physical appearance first of all, it's a mistaken approach, and secondly, it's unfair. I mean, I have a personal beef about that. So, bottom line is that your self-talk about that is inaccurate. Men seem to like thinner women. Is going to exclude you from the choices. So, start checking your thoughts on what you're saying about yourself.
I'm gonna say a few things here.
Yeah.
Because
sisters are okay with the body, but men may not be. That's all.
So here's what I'm gonna say about that. I'm gonna say that first of all, your photos still have to, even if you're plus size, you have to feel amazing.
Yes.
You have to feel amazing, and you still have to have amazing photos that show your body. You can't be hiding it. You can be plus size and look amazing. You still, whether you're thin or curvy or whatever you got going on, you still have to have rock star photos that tell the story. And I'm going to tell you something. In my lifetime, I don't care about this. I don't care short, tall guys. It doesn't matter to me. Well, actually, I don't really like tall guys, to be honest with you. I like guys around my own height and grab onto them easier. Or I like guys, I don't mind like a little stocky. I like kind of those burly dudes. But what I noticed when I dated in my lifetime, in a couple of instances when I dated guys that were like more heavy set, I felt fine about it, but they didn't feel good about themselves. And that was a turnoff to me.
Right.
So I think if you own it and you feel good about yourself And you realize there are 100% there are men out there that love curvy ladies, that there's women out there that love big burly dudes. You just gotta own it and feel good about it and be in that mindset, because I do believe that you receive what you believe. Woo! That was a tongue twister, but I got through it, didn't I? All right, let's pick. I say two questions. That's it. 2 more, and that's it. So technically, it should be 1 more. We're going to do 2 more, and then we're out of here.
The same. So then show pictures. Does paying for the apps really help?
No. I should do a TikTok video about that. No, that is just a trick so that they can upsell you. You know, so what they do is they show you all these blurred out photos. Don't you want to see the men who are interested in you? And the answer is no, I don't want to see. I don't want to pay to see the men who are interested in me. I'm just going to swipe the regular way and I'll figure that out as I go. No, it's a trick. And, you know, also another thing, and we were talking about this morning.
Yeah.
We get so caught up in how many likes or matches that we have. And matches and likes mean nothing because that's low effort. Low effort. Takes nothing to like. Yeah. So you really want the men or the women who are willing to show up and put in effort. Write a good message to you. Not do a thumbs up or a like, even if you're on Hinge. You want somebody who's made a comment like, hey, Gina, you know, I love your great style. Or, hey, Gina, you're really beautiful. Would love to talk. Like, if they cannot string 5 words together, why would you even want to talk to them?
They just say hi.
Hi is like, how many highs are they sending? They're running it as a numbers game. So you guys really need to raise your standard. 1 more question and we're out of here.
So the one that Ken said, heard that Bumble isn't great because women have to make the first move and it pushes masculine men away.
No, I don't believe that at all. That's 100. People perpetuate shit because they don't know what they're talking about.
The thing for me is also because the dating app is different. Men, maybe the men who are not getting picked are getting upset and they're starting to put that blurb out there because Bumble isn't a woman. I mean, I think woman runs Bumble. She came from Tinder. Is that accurate?
The girl. So she came from Tinder and started Bumble.
She wanted to spin an app that was more supportive of women. Is what I heard.
Well, the PR angle is that
right, of course. So because the women make the first move, let's do
but women don't make. I know how to do it so that women don't make the first move on Bumble.
But here's the thing,
and I talk about it in my book.
Indeed,
the great manhunt. No, but I do, and I'll tell, but I got mine.
You have indeed, yes. No, so let me speak to.
I'll tell you the strategy anyway in a second.
So the thing is, I have had this. I mean, if you haven't guessed, I'm English originally. I lived in America for a long time. Yes. Cool. Surprise.
I didn't know. Learn something new every day, Bear.
It's not what you said yesterday. No, okay. Another story. Anyway, so the thing is that I've had this thing for me about being gentleman. It's part of my makeup I grew up with. And the old adage, the whole thing about when women drop a handkerchief, was when a woman let a man know she was interested in him, his work from that point forward was to court her. Like it was all on his plate. For me, Bumble's doing the same thing. Is letting the woman go, excuse me, I see you. And then it's up to the man to do the work. So it doesn't push away masculine men because it gives them a place to go, I can actually not get rejected this time. Because most of the dating apps, it's about rejection is the biggest issue for a lot of men. Period. Well, in dating, period. But this app gives that safe, almost sense of like a woman lets him know. So he goes, okay, great. I can actually take a step here and be less fearful of being rejected.
First of all, Bumble needs to be paying me. I swear to God, they do. For as much as I talk about Bumble, don't get a dime from them. So here's what I'm going to tell you. I'm going to tell you something really good. I actually think, in a way, I think outside the box here, people, that I think Bumble could attract more masculine, secure men, right? Because a man who is under the impression women have to make the first move has to be secure and masculine enough to want to play that game. But here's the deal that I teach my ladies. So what I say on Bumble is you match, you swipe, right? You're matching. And you might match 30, and I'm gonna leave you with this. And 30, you might match, let's say you match with 30 men. Okay, first of all, the matches mean nothing, absolutely nothing.
Right.
And to initiate conversation with 30 men is cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, because a lot of these guys are scratching their balls and watching Netflix and swiping and not looking, okay?
Do you have a spy camera?
I have a spy camera. I had my own dating app. Remember?
I do. Yes.
Remember, I have my, and so I know I could see
of it, yeah.
I could see from behind the scenes what people were doing. All right. So anyway, so the matches mean nothing. So on Bumble, and here's the tip, is that teach my ladies, you have to wait for the men to extend the time. They are then making the
Right.
first move, okay? This is what I call separating the men from the boys on Bumble, right? Because the men who are really truly hot for you are going to extend the time. And now there's exceptions, oddly enough. Once in a while, a man will extend the time and then he still falls off the radar. Who knows why? I have a theory about that as well. But it doesn't mean he wasn't interested. It doesn't mean that he wasn't still more interested in you than the others.
Right.
But definitely if you use this strategy where you swipe match, and you just wait, and let's say you match with 30 and only 2 of those guys extend the time, those are the only 2 you need to be worried about because those are the 2 out of the 30 that were genuinely swiping on you because they were interested. The rest were just fooling around. All right. And here's the thing, if he's not smart enough to figure out how to extend the time, thank God, now you've weeded him out. All right. And you only want the men who are smart enough and motivated enough to say, hey, lady, don't get away. I'm going to raise my hand and I'm going to show you that I am more interested than these other jackasses who have matched with you. And that is a strategy I talk about on Bumble.
So this is the thing. That's gold.
Giving you gold.
So if you're not already following this woman and maybe even signing up to work with her, I highly recommend it. I'm being biased because I don't like this woman a lot. She's a good friend and she knows her stuff.
Thank you. That's nice, Barry.
Absolutely. So, and I know it's your channel anyway, but even so, I feel like this is the point, is that you got to find people who can help you know what they're doing. And this is one of them.
You really do.
Yeah.
And a lot of people, hang a sign on their door and say they're a relationship expert or they're, all this stuff. But like I eat, sleep, and breathe this stuff and have been doing it for so long that is, what hinders me is I know too much.
That's dangerous. I know the feeling.
It's dangerous when you know too much, but I'm here to help you. So, okay, we're going to go enjoy our Saturday. I want you to go enjoy your Saturday. You can follow Barry here on TikTok at Barry Selby 777. You can also RSVP above so that you can join me on Wednesday night when I'm here at 6 p.m. Pacific, and then you'll get notified. What else? I don't know. You can go to The Great Manhunt. You can see everything that I offered, thegreatmanhunt.com. My coaching for ladies right now is filled up for the fall session.
Very cool.
And then he's on Clubhouse. He does a lot of stuff on Clubhouse.
Clubhouse a lot, yeah. And you can find me there as Barry Selby. In fact, all my social media is my name, which is Barry Selby, including my website. It's barryselby.com. So it's easy to find me. Instagram's the only unique one because I had to get a new account. My one got hacked. So that's just the real Barry Selby.
Telling people too much. Anyway,
so Barry Selby, you can find me.
It's been fun. I love talking with Barry. Yeah. And then you can always email me at teamgina@ginahendrix.com if you have any questions that you didn't get answered or you want to, whatever you want to say, you can message me there. Enjoy your Saturday, guys. Thank you so much. See you guys.
See ya.
Bye-bye.